He will end you.
How to get killed by your DM.
Last time
How to get a...
on in D&D acceptance, our party found where the arcane crystal was meant to be, and in doing so, invoked an ancient defense that had beaten them nearly to death. We got back at the skin of their teeth, and gotten some time off again. Another month and a half passes between jobs. What is you doing? I'm gonna lean into it if I'm gonna mess up my words.
Well,
here's... On the first day, when Borman gets back, well, he's gonna notice something missing.
Uh-huh.
And he's gonna be looking for it in the best way he knows how.
By upturning his room?
No.
No?
Because it's always been on his person, he can easily sniff it out.
Oh. I see. So, you're looking for that item that was pickpocketed out of your...
Yep. And this is a roll with advantage.
Yeah. I think it probably...
Wait. Oh, I never put it back.
No, you did not.
So, Mint, you hear a knock on your door.
Yeah.
Did I say I'm a penises? Would it be reasonable to say I'm a penises?
Would you say that you're a Venus? Sorry, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, she said she's at Venus's.
Would you say that it's fair that you're at Venus's?
Yes.
Well, this is the first day since you came back that he upturned it. You probably heard the commotion, and you were just like, oh, and as you were leaving to get out of the fight, you just get to the end of the hallway of your dorm, and Foreman comes out of his room.
Shit.
Why, you fool?
Borman sees you. Mint sees Borman. Borman looks disappointed.
Why,
Why are you looking so disappointed, Borman?
He crosses his arms as he walks over to you.
You haven't felt this shame since your parents were disappointed in you.
I haven't felt the sort of shame since my mother found out that I was a rogue and a succubus.
Oh, was your father an incubus?
I slowly hand back over the item.
You hand the single sewing needle over with nothing to keep it from stabbing people.
Borman takes it and walks away. Next time, you may not be so lucky. And he goes back into his room.
Fair enough.
When he goes back into his room, you catch a glimpse of his upturned room from behind the door.
As all of this was happening, Alex just left his room with scruff and toe and was just like, should have given him back the fucking needle, eating like a sandwich. Or has like a lunch bag packed up, and he's on his way to Miles.
Aw, so nice.
We'll say for the sake of him eating something, he's eating like a boiled egg.
It's not like you're eating it normally. You just like should have gave him back his fucking things, and you put the egg in your mouth and just push it slowly into your mouth.
No, I just take a bite out of it.
Yeah. So that was the first day for John, and just for you, all of you in general.
Well, actually, I wanted to pursue what happened with Miles last time, except confirm it this time.
Confirm like that.
Me going home to get my spare spellbook.
Oh yeah, of course you can go do that too. So that'll be
Because I figured this is day one of us being back.
Yeah.
The first thing I would have done is packed up a sandwich, gone and talked to him, got to know a little bit about him, asked him if he can send me home, and then I go home and grab my spell book, and it cost me 400 gold to do so.
Yes.
And now I'm back from outer space.
It just walked in here with that sad look upon your face. So then, so space then, not so then.
Yeah, I got a little confused there for a second.
That's a reference that nobody else but us would understand. We continue this month and a half, and what do people do individually or together? I don't know. There's
So
going to be an awkward pressure between a few of the party members.
during this
You know, Alex. Yeah. You know, Matthew. Let's.
this month.
You're completely indifferent to what's happening because it doesn't involve you.
Well, actually, during this month, Alex is going to go to Borman's bar,
Oh. Are you
where
gonna
Borman frequents, and he's going to sit there with an open tab and wait for Borman to arrive.
I see. You get a lot of weird looks. Thatcher walks in at one point too, just as well, and he's like, "What are you doing here, kid?"
Waiting for Borman.
Yeah, he seemed kind of upset about some things. Ignore them. They're kind of gruff. They're not used to people your age being here. But don't worry about it.
My age. Like I'm not in my 30s.
You look around. Everyone's like 50s or older. Like.
I got back pain too, damn it. I yell at the most crotchety looking guy who may or may not be looking at me.
You do that. It's a Knoll. And then Knoll just kind of like, fucking kids. And Thatcher gives a hearty laugh. Is like, all right, yeah, just make yourself comfortable and don't worry about the weird looks. And he goes off to go talk to another group of them, who you obviously see he's gotten very close to some of the people here.
You know what? For the tab that I'm gonna keep open, how much would it cost for me to buy a round for everybody at the bar?
How much would it cost?
Yeah, for a round.
For the
For
people that-
everybody to get a drink.
For the people that are here, it'd probably only be about 5 gold.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna buy everybody a round and kind of just like, yeah!
You get a half-hearted yeah from everyone.
Fucking assholes.
nobody-
Fucking old people.
nobody's like looking at you crotchety anymore, but you know,
Yeah,
that's
nobody's staring at me like
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here.
yeah, it's a step up, but it's not like great.
Yeah.
John, how long does it take you to go to your frequent bar, the Rowdy Pony, after the event?
Probably after he just bought those rounds.
Oh yeah, great. So you walk in and you see immediately notice Alex, as he is the youngest person here. What do you do?
Looks back. And then back at Alex. It's just like,
Howdy.
huh.
Take a seat.
I think it's funny because I imagine Mint just like curled up in a room, like, oh god, he's mad at me.
Yeah.
Take a seat. We gotta talk.
Borman raises a brow. Puts his next to you.
Now, Borman, I respect your capabilities. You have a very different skill set than I. You look at a piece of metal and you think, how hard do I have to punch this to turn it into scrap? I see a piece of metal and I immediately try to figure out what kind of metal it is. We have two very different thought processes, but I think under the same token, we're both trying to better ourselves in a way. And what happened 2 days ago, you saved me. I'd be dead without you and Mint. I acknowledge that. But at the same token, I don't think that without the help of Otto, we wouldn't have walked out of there. So I think it's smart, and I think it's fair to ask that as you're a hell of a lot tougher than I am, should traps be involved? You know, I agree we can send Mint ahead as she can fly and kind of scout out the area. That's her skill set. But what she doesn't catch, I feel like you should be going ahead of me for. You're a lot beefier than I am. And to prove it, I'm going to turn around and look to the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
2 bottles, please, of your strongest liquor.
All right, kid. And he goes to get you 2 bottles. And sets them down on the table. Kind of gives Borman a raised brow like, is this okay?
Borman shrugs.
He shrugs back and walks back behind the counter.
So, I propose a little game for us, Borman, to prove a point. And I slide forward one of the bottles. We're going to drink as fast as we can.
Oh, fuck.
One go. As much as you can, as fast as you can. First one to put down the bottle loses. Now say we do 3 rounds. Sound fair?
You hear a cheek as the ball goes.
Alrighty.
Wait, do what?
You hear a chink as he grabs the bottle and gets ready to start, basically.
Okay. I'm gonna take some ink from my components pouch,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna dip my finger into it, and I'm gonna draw 2 lines on each bottle showing like where the thirds are.
Okay. Okay.
And the goal is to drink to the line or more.
Okay.
So this is a test of constitution.
Yes, it is. You would each roll 3. Well, it's going to be 3 rounds of a Constitution saving throw,
Mm-hmm.
because that is what it is. Depending on how you guys roll, depends on how drunk you get, and first one that gets lowest in my eyes for it is out.
So if you roll an natural
And-
1 on the first one, you're out.
Yes.
If I'll say for the sake of this game, it'll be if you roll a 1, that counts as 2 losses.
Yes, I will say that too. I will agree. Because this isn't like, this is a friendly competition.
Mhm.
Alrighty. I'm ready for you guys to start rolling your first Constitution saving throw as you drink the first third of the
power.
bottle.
To power, I raise my bottle up for a cheers with Borman.
You hear clink as he responds to it.
I rolled a 21.
That was pretty good.
Nice.
25.
The first one goes down pretty smooth, but you can tell there is a bite to it. You know that this isn't meant to be drank the way that this is, but knowing that what this competition is going to be, you're going to have to grin and bear it. Roll your second.
Grit my teeth and buck my hips. 17.
It's
21.
getting worse.
Matthew, you can start to feel it. It's getting to you, but you're still going to be able to power through. Borman,
All right.
you are fucking good. Roll your third.
Ugh.
There it is. And that's
It got progressively worse, and that's about how I'm drinking
For
for me.
both of
actually.
you. For both of you, it got progressively worse.
Accurate to real life.
John, you feel you're starting to get a little bit, like hazy. But Alex, after you finish the bottle, you don't remember what happens next. Everybody else in the bar hears a thud. Thatcher and Borman, or Thatcher looks behind to check, and John, you saw this. The wizard is now on the ground, unconscious.
Is there anything left in his bottle?
Nah, you can't go back to that bar anymore. No, Alex proved himself that he was able to finish the bottle, but he wasn't able to stay up.
I wasn't able to beat Borman. I had a feeling I wouldn't, with Borman having a +8 to Constitution saving throws. The moment I saw John roll, I was like, all right, maybe I can work something out with this 21, 25. Fuck. Oh, man.
The next move is yours, John. You're barely making noise is how out you are. That's probably about the last thing you said before you hit the ground. This was strong.
This is gonna be a long walk. I pick him up.
You pick him up and you take him back to his dorm.
As you leave, Scruff is just kind of sitting there at the door, confused.
A lot of the
Well, you know.
as John picks up the skinny wizard man, there's a lot of hefty chuckles across the older men in the bar.
Borman just gives a salute to the barkeep.
You send him back, and
Wait, my tab. I'm gonna like fucking
Borman
like
pays for the tab.
gust of wind come back up, reach up in my coin purse and just throw another 5 gold at the bar in general. Like, we're outside, but I just threw 5 gold at the bar.
Borman paid for your tab, even though you still did that. And
Thank you.
you get Alex put to sleep. John, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about what Alex said to you, said to Borman? What does he feel about the situation now with this man?
He understands.
He understands? Alright.
You're a good pig.
Alex, the next couple of days are rough because this is a hangover that lasts for a while.
Immediately after waking up, Alex is going to, for this moment, Alexander, just to keep the sun out of his eyes,
Yeah.
is gonna keep casting Black Storm over himself to blot out the sun, and he's just kind of gonna keep concentrating to move it with him all the way to Borman's to go see if he has a cure for the world's worst hangover.
I hear a storm outside and like poke my head out the door like, what the fuck?
There was a literal storm cloud over Alex. You can see the circles under his eyes, Jazz, even with the darkness.
Jesus, man, what did you do?
So loud. Venus.
Venus.
And just kind of gonna push past Mint and keep walking.
They
Yeah.
didn't even come out, but go off, man.
Okay. That's how that is. Jazz, how long does it take you before your, like, embarrassment pushes you to apologize? I feel like that's what your character would do, but if not, prove me wrong.
I feel like it's just gonna be the next time she sees Borman.
Well, the question is, how actively would you try to avoid him before that? I know what embarrassment does, but
I feel like she would probably sulk for a day or two over the embarrassment.
so about the
And
time
then
that
she'd
it
be like-
takes Matthew to get over his hangover, or Alex to get over his hangover.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And then she's back to life as normal.
So, it's not hard to run into Borman. You guys are across the hall from each other.
So like as soon as we leave the rooms.
It though it probably takes like a couple more days after Alex's hangover is over until the two of you finally bump into each other at the perfect time.
Min.
Oh, hi, Borman. Look, I just want to apologize. I didn't mean any harm. We're just trying to get to know you better, and I kind of pulled a blonde moment, if you will, and forgot to put it back. I'm really sorry.
You can see Borman still has the disappointed look.
Is there any way I can make it up to you?
Oh my god. Not that.
So, for all of those, Matthew wrote in the chat in all caps, "Not sex," and Jazz was like, "It was genuine, you fuck."
You degenerate fuck.
You're a succubus. What do you think I'm gonna think when you say, "Can I make it up to you somehow?"
I legit.
The start of a bad porno.
Okay, John.
Borman size.
Never.
Four size.
And his expression softens as he just pats Mint on the head.
Aw.
Aww.
It's that acknowledgement,
Just-
like a parent of yeah, the child understands.
Ass. Next time. Okay?
Okay. I can do that.
I know I can be a stubborn ass at times. Especially everybody at the bar. They know.
Why are you so good at drinking?
I would say that this whole event happened in that first week of coming back.
Right.
You still have some time. And Matthew, you wrote that you wanted to speak with Abigail. So we'll start with that, since you've already expressed interest in something for the rest of the time.
Okay.
So you go to Abigail's office, and you see she's, for once, the first time you've seen it, done with paperwork for the day.
Hey, yo, Abigail.
And she's leaning back, and she has a cup of tea, and she's smoking. She has a pipe.
I pull out my pipe and do that classic, you gotta light.
She looks. Oh, hello, Alex. You see she grabs a tinderbox out from her desk and hands it over to you.
I strike a match and start my pipe and then
She has
blow out the match and toss it back to the tinderbox.
She has her window open to let the
Thank you.
smoke out.
Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking a lot about the emerald coats.
Yeah.
And have we considered espionage?
Espionage.
Mm-hmm. A spy, so to say.
No, I know what espionage means. I'm just thinking on it. Well,
Because I've met one.
you met one.
Mm-hmm. 2 towns over from my hometown. I went for a visit for the first day to grab a new spell book and saw a woman in a Beautiful emerald dress. I'm not at liberty to discuss names at the moment, as I don't really think I got hers. However,
she rubs the back of her neck, a bit irritated.
However, conversation was had. An offer is in place. However, they were not at liberty to give out an artifact at that moment.
Okay, Alex.
I have a plan that if I can find them again, now that I know what I'm looking for,
Yes.
and I have a spell to help me locate them. I can find her again, but it's going to be tricky. How do you advise I proceed from here?
First, you did this without telling me ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not appreciate that, as you understand how I feel about the Emerald Coats, right?
I'm aware. You've got some bad blood. However, my intention is not to form an alliance, so to say, between us. We have a very symbiotic relationship in the nature of our organizations. But I want you to know, this was me attempting to get another artifact out of the world. You do realize that. This wasn't some power trip. This wasn't some turn to the dark side for old Alex. This was a how can I get one step ahead of the enemy. We know nothing about them. You know nothing about them. We got no clue what their plans are, where they're set up, who they work for, if they have a leader, where they're getting these artifacts from.
She drums her fingers on the desk.
Hell, for all we know, the magic that's being sucked out of the artifacts you put in your special little box over there could be not all of the magic power. We don't know if it's transferring it to somewhere else.
I know what the box is doing. You hit a nerve. You really hit a nerve with that one. I trust you, Alex. And I hope whatever they said to you, you can separate that from what you're doing here.
I believe I can. I believe I can. There are times where there was a time when I considered turning. Sure. I mean, look at me. I'm the runt of a powerful litter. I wasn't born with magic. I had to learn this shit the hard way. All right? I understand the appeal to magic, the pull of evil. I get it. All right? Cut me some fucking slack. But you gotta know, with all my hard work and effort that I've put in for the last 20 years of my life, it still wasn't enough to keep me safe in that last mission. I almost fell to my death. I was beaten, broken, and slashed. And I almost died if not for Mint.
And we took
And if
care
I
of
hadn't
you.
been quick enough on my feet and gotten that robot Otto up and running, all of us would be dead. If this was another kind of mission, if that thing you gave me wasn't a core to a robot, none of us would still be standing here today. You gotta understand, there's some give and take here. And you gave us a reward for it, sure. But there's not much to keep that from happening again. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm afraid. My team is afraid, Abigail. We're concerned about being just a little bit too in over our heads.
You see that there is a softness in her eyes after hearing you say that. Her tone shifts. She lays her palm flat on the table and relaxes back in.
I just take a long drag of my pipe.
She does as well with hers. I do everything I can to take care of my people here. I hope you understand that. When you came back, we sent healers. We made sure everything was all right with you. And I know sometimes we can't do that on the field. But that's the job.
Let me ask you one more thing.
I approve your espionage efforts for the Greencoats, though I wish you would have told me earlier.
It was a spur of the moment kind of thing. I just so happened to see them.
She raises.
I didn't have a way to convey a message.
She raises a hand and careful. It just like not exactly trying to. It's the understanding. You don't need to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you run into him, don't listen. All he will tell you is lies.
And who is he?
Their leader, Christopher.
Taking notes. You got a last name?
That's all we know of him. Please, I need to think.
I just want to ask you one more thing.
Yes?
Before I leave. If the Emerald Coats figure out my little plan, and they follow me back, buddy, they're going to follow back with a lot more power than we can handle. Who's on the winning side here? If it's an all-out war between the neutralizers and the Emerald Coats, if they come here, I mean, you said it yourself. Any of these jars fall over, and it's for the whole building. Imagine what would happen if they came in with 15 artifacts with this much power and just unleashed it all. They could wipe us off the face of the earth with no problem.
Well, then we best be ready.
Okay. And with that, I'm gonna snuff out my pipe. I'm gonna kind of knock the ashes out over the window, and I'm gonna tuck it back into my vest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, before I leave, I'm gonna kind of turn over my shoulder and say, "No, I won't let you down." And then I just kind of leave.
Yeah, you leave. You don't see her face or the look of her face. How do you feel after this?
My mistrust is back. my impending doom feeling is intensified.
Yeah.
Knowing that Danny, the emerald coat lady I found, very easily
contact.
could have.
Yes.
Yeah, my contact very easily could have traced me back here.
Yeah.
There was nothing to keep her from doing that.
So
Alex is cautious.
it's obvious how cautious you are, I'm sure. You are boiling in this feeling.
It's kind of like a kind of paranoia starting to set in. For the time being, I'd like to go to Venus's shop.
Okay.
Immediately, yeah.
Kind of work off this cautiousness.
Work it off and also talk to him about what percentage of a discount we'd be getting for all the work that me and Mint have been putting in.
You get a solid answer of a 10% discount.
10% discount?
Yeah. So Alex does this, and Mint and Borman, you hardly see him after this conversation. And when you do, he looks worried. It doesn't shake for a while. Jazz, John, is there anything you wish to do before we start the next mission?
Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up the item shop.
Jazz is gonna go buy things.
Well, no, probably not yet, but I do want to ask about something.
Okay.
So, I know I get 10% discount and everything.
Mhm.
So, how much is this A Quiet Hope rapier? I know what tier it's in, but how much is it exactly?
A Quiet Hope rapier. Isn't
It's in the
that...
250 to 500.
Is it?
Oh no, wait, no.
No,
I was looking at
very
Acros. My bad.
Oh, it's in very rare? Jesus! Okay.
She does have a lot more money than me.
A Quiet Hope rapier is in the very rare from 5,000 to 10,000. Let's see what we got.
With the 10% at 10,000, that would pull it back to 9,000.
It wouldn't exactly be all of that, but yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, geez, 10% of, like, everything is, like, that number at 100. Let's see here. It would probably be 6,400 then, at 10%.
6,400? Okay. Alright, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. Those...
Can I see if I can get some potions?
Yes, you want to get some healing potions, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, for you guys, what kind of potions are you getting? Minor, other.
No. What about how much are the regular ones?
Like
above minor.
Oh, the ones above minor, which are give me a second, I need to look it up. Cause it's the uncommon one. Oh, they're uncommon. Okay. For you guys, because they're cheaper, would be... Wow, they're uncommon. Jesus, that's interesting. They would be 180 gold. They are uncommon, but I'm even making them cheaper than normal uncommon. So...
Jesus.
Uncommon starts at 250 gold. And I gave you 50 off and 10%.
I know that we had talked about it before, Jacob.
Yes.
Just so I have a price to put on it.
Yeah.
The Wand of the Wandering Spellcaster.
Yes. Is that very rare?
That is a rare.
Oh, it's only rare. Yeah.
How much is that with the 10% discount?
Rare. Okay, so that's up to 5,000. I would put that at 3,600.
3,600. Okay.
Yeah. John, what are you thinking of potions wise? Normally, though,
I'll look for like potions of healing.
you're gonna get the default 2d4 plus 2, or
How much is the greater healing?
would be 180, but that also doesn't seem right to me for some reason, because normally like greater healing potions are like 50. So, because of your HP and how it is, and because of how I normally see greater healing potions, they'll be 45 gold each with 10%. So they'll be 50 and then 10% off, so 45 for each.
I'll take some greater healing then.
Alright, so those are 4d4 plus 4. And figure out how much.
How much did you say for me?
It's 45 each.
I'm just going to take one of those greater healing potions.
Okay.
And it's how much healing?
It is 4d4 plus 4.
I'll take 3.
Okay. Jeez. Alrighty. So
John has money to spare. He doesn't really buy anything.
So Jazz, John, no characters
Yes.
you wish to have conversation with before we go off onto the next mission?
I probably will see Alex. Do I?
You want to? Do you want? You have to search him out if you want to see him. Like, you've seen him around, but you're gonna have to search him out.
Shouldn't be that hard for my nose.
Fair enough. Matthew, as you're like walking around doing one of your things for the day, you just hear the sniffing of a boar from around a corner.
I'm gonna whip my head to the side, and I'm gonna have burning hands ready.
You see Boorman come around the corner.
Alex is gonna burn out the spell in his hands, so that's one spell slot for me gone.
Hey, it'll come back before you start. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
it'll
it.
come back before we start the next thing. But like, Alex is like super paranoid right now. Borman, surprised to see you. What can I do for you?
Borman has a worried look. Alright.
Little shaky. Things have gotten a little interesting. I'm gonna glance around, like eye to the left, eye to the right. I don't see any green, do I?
No, you don't.
I'm gonna grab Borman by whatever straps he has on him, and I'm gonna pull him into an alley.
You're gonna have to roll a strength check.
I don't mind rolling a grapple.
Then roll a strength
Strength.
check just for shits and giggles.
2.
He rolled a 2. Matthew, you tug, but you just kind of do that thing where you tug, but all the force of your own tug pulls you backwards a bit.
Borman just walks as you pull him.
Fair.
As we're ducked down into this alley, I'm going to ritual cast silence
Mm-hmm.
in the area that we're in. They're in front of the. How does silence work? Is it
It's a sphere. It's a dome.
everything in the dome? Nothing can be heard inside and nothing can be heard outside, or is it nothing can be heard from the inside that's on the outside, nothing can be heard on the outside that's on the inside?
Nothing can be heard on the inside. Period.
Okay.
John,
I'm
how
going-
good is Boorman at reading lips? That's a weird
Well,
detail we
that-
would have never been able to figure out before.
What kind of roll would that be?
That would be a perception.
Yeah, I guess. That would be a perception.
Because it's wisdom based off of what you can see, so perception.
But if you fail, I will consider an investigation as a second attempt because you're trying to figure out what he's saying.
I can also roll performance to assist you.
Yes, you can. Oh.
Performance.
Matthew, roll performance and we'll combine the two rolls. Okay, so
Yikes.
a 16 combined. It's not terrible. John, you're able to piece together what he's trying to tell you. And Matthew, go ahead. Unless you want to just yada yada over it and be like, this is what it is.
Alex is, I'll yada yada over it. Alex is telling Borman that he fears he's being followed by the Emerald Coats because of an encounter that he had previously. I can't go into the details about my secret mission, but it's one I'm performing on my own without the approval of Abigail. You gotta trust me on this.
It's like
one.
half the approval of Abigail, because you only told her half.
Well, no, as far as Alex is concerned, Abigail, even though she said, I approve of what you're doing, the fact that she said, I'm not happy with you doing it, was all Alex needed to hear to immediately know that Abigail doesn't trust him.
Yeah, I see.
So Alex is panicking because he thinks Abigail's stalking him, and he now also thinks that he's being followed by the Emerald Coats. So he's informing Borman of what the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the story.
Yeah.
Of me running into someone from the Emerald Coats. Not informing him that I was seeking them out.
So, do you also at some point find Minth to tell her as well? After
No.
Borman, no.
I'm
unless
only telling
she
Borman because he sought me out.
Okay, fair enough. So, John, what's your reaction to this, to hearing this information?
Well, I'm sure Alex or nobody else will see this coming, but Borman hugs Alex.
He hugs him. Oh.
Make
Well,
me a
just-
grapple with advantage.
I would.
Just
Yeah.
like a gentle hug.
John, just go ahead and roll a grapple with advantage because Matthew is a squirmy bitch right now.
Now
The
I'll be using my dexterity to get out of this. I rolled a 5, so you don't have much to beat.
John got a 23 with advantage.
He almost rolled that one.
Yeah.
Alex did not see this coming at all.
This is the warmest,
And is-
gentlest hug you've ever had, besides from your mother.
If it weren't for the fact that Alex is so paranoid right now, he would appreciate this. But at the moment, he understands after he has calmed down from oh my god, Borman's one of them and is gonna kill me. After he has calmed down from that, he realizes that this is a hug, and he just kind of breaks down.
Oh.
Aww.
Yeah. And Borman's just comforting him,
Aw.
During the breakdown, Alex is also gonna cast what is the fucking spell? I gotta find it. Darkness over the both of them.
Oh.
Because he doesn't want to be seen hugging Borman and crying in
Oh.
public.
That's so sad. Mint, you're just where the fuck are my friends? So. I'm guessing nobody else has anything else they want to do before we start.
Hey, is there
Alright,
a
Dan.
library or something on these grounds?
There is a library. A lot of
I wanna
mages
go-
go there.
I want to go to the library and see if I can find anything on the Emerald Coats.
Yeah, yours is more, wondering, considering you heard your idea of them is different than everybody else's, considering you have a name and knowledge of only what Abigail has told you.
Yeah, but I'm still a little suspicious after that whole thing.
Yes, I understand. So you go to a library and you try to look up for Emerald Coat information. And what you find is a historical list of every event
that has been attributed back to the Emerald Coats that they have on hand. And this event starts at the beginning of the founding of this organization.
Oh, shit.
And you can tell that the first event is what the catalyst was of this organization starting. And the event is called the Bronze Gramophone.
Wasn't there a gramophone in Abigail's thing?
It's not. You've seen gramophones before, but you're pretty sure none of them were this one. And the final information of it is mission non-concluded. It's still ongoing.
Oh.
Anyway, that's what you find.
Nothing else of interest, though?
A lot of the other ones are pretty simple things that have been concluded, like this one specific. The reason this one sticks out is that it was the first and still hasn't been finished.
I see. Okay.
Yes. But yes. And that is how you guys have spent your month and a half.
Actually,
very. Oh, anything else?
I was gonna say there's one more thing that I would like to get before we leave.
Okay.
I would like to gather. I gotta find the spell.
Are you gathering materials for a spell?
Yeah, but there's a specific spell. I would like to purchase a small crystal or glass cone.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty easy to get.
Okay.
Like a gold. Like at
A
the
gold.
most. At the
Okay.
most. Yeah.
I'll spend a gold for a sturdy, heavy duty one.
Which spell are you getting these equipment for?
Cold of cone.
Okay.
Or cone of cold. But
Cold of cone.
cold of cone.
Alrighty. Okay.
When it's cold outside, everybody turns into a cone.
Alrighty. So you gathered that. And this is how your month and a half was spent. This was actually a very eventful month. Like any other job, through the speakers of far speech throughout the organization, you're called to the captain's office. Your team is. They call the Lazuli Wisps. Not an individual person. Nothing seems to be as if somebody is being called out in particular. I know that some of you are paranoid. That's why I'm saying this directly. When you arrive, Abigail is looking at a clipboard. At some papers on a clipboard, a bit unsure. She flips through the pages, scratching her head. Oh, everyone.
Abigail.
Hello.
There's a bit of tension that, Jazz, you notice for the first time between Alex and Abigail. Borman was already prepared for this, obviously.
You see Mint raise an eyebrow.
I do not break eye contact with Abigail.
So,
Almost just, well, stock still.
yeah, she's looking at all of you, even though Matthew's staring her in the eyes. I have an interesting mission for you. A little bit different. You haven't scouted for us yet, have you?
No. No,
Borman raises
ma'am.
a brow at this.
Well,
Not yet.
we don't have a clear target for our next mission, but we do have readings of some magical energy being produced, and we don't have any scouts in the area available.
Okay.
We're sending you to the Illuminated Forest. You might have heard of it. All of you have heard of it. You don't need to roll me a history check at all.
Illuminated what?
The Illuminated Forest is
You're
a
cutting out. Do you mind
Oh.
just
Yeah,
typing
you're
it?
dropping.
the Illuminated Forest. Did you hear that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is a very famous location mixed with danger and wonder. Many people have died from it due to their own hubris, but many have come back with tales of beauty and magnificence that it beholds. What's that for, John?
That was the history.
No, you don't have to. Everybody has heard of the Illuminated Forest.
Yeah, we're kind of losing you a little bit.
Losing the plot? Yeah.
More
Just
like
losing
your
you
audio.
in general.
That's
It's going in and out for us.
Ah, I see. I
It's
see.
like every other word, and then half of your longer words are missing.
Oh, okay.
What I was able to piece together is that it's called the Illuminated Forest,
Yes.
and that there are stories about it. Most
Mhm.
people who go into it don't return, but those who have tell tales of grandeur and fortune.
Yeah, beauty and magnificence, but yes.
Okay, beauty and magnificence.
All right.
But not many make it out of the forest, is what we've pieced together.
Because many of them go in and suffer to their own hubris.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That's fine. I do not mind reclarifying if things are fucked up. She looks. The Illuminated Forest is a natural magic well. You know, most of the time it's used by druids. You know, it likes to recharge and refresh, ebb and flow, and the different magical properties that are in it. But we've gotten reports that the magic is at an all-time high, and we do not know why.
Okay.
So we're sending you to scout, as our scouts. So please, be prepared, and go off into the portal room when you are ready.
Yes, ma'am.
You've prepared beforehand, as I know, as you were buying things during the time. So
I'll send you a picture, Jacob, of what spells I have prepared going into this.
Okay.
And you'll be able to tell because it's just my spell list, but every spell that I have prepared has a circle next to it.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes.
3 second level spells, so and this is quite a climb as well. Third levels, I have 2. So I got Fireball. And then let's try and Lightning Bolt. And I think that's good. Okay.
The mumbling of getting spells prepared. But you guys get to the portal room, and Miles is there, and he gives you the big wide smile that he normally gives you, and he's just like, "Hey guys, how are you doing? I haven't seen you guys around in a while. Where are you guys off to this time?"
Looks like we're going to the Illuminated Forest.
Oh, man, that place is beautiful. I haven't gone in it, but I've seen it from the outskirts, and even from the outside, it looks magnificent.
I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah. Alex, you haven't come by for lunch in a while. Everything all right?
Yeah, Miles. Just had a lot on my mind. We'll have lunch when I get back.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. Just Anyway, let me get this all set up for you. And he gets the key ring and the color of the fog changes to a vibrant pink.
Alex is gonna wave by at Miles and step through the portal.
All right. When you all go through the portal, you come out feeling fresh for the first time. You are all very used to the portal now.
God, Miles is such a good egg, and I love him.
Same.
He's chill.
He's chill. Matthew. You gave
He
him
is. He's such a good egg.
You gave
He
him,
is.
You gave him so much shit early on. And you're like, God damn it, I love this guy.
I've enjoyed fucking with him for the first 5 episodes, and like now I'm just like at the end of the start of the 6th. I'm just like, okay, maybe he's not so bad. Maybe I should stop bullying the poor lad. He seems a little confused.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's up, Jess?
I was gonna say, like, when we get through the portal, I'm gonna like kind of look at Alex and be like, "All right, what's going on with you?
There it is.
You're acting weird."
I could say the same thing about you, Mint. Where have you been?
See? Well, actually, I've been in the library.
That's weird. It's pretty
Yeah.
fucking weird for you, actually. What are
Yeah,
you doing
well-
in the library?
Well, if you'd let me talk for 5 goddamn seconds, Alex, I'd tell you what I was doing in the library. I'm sorry.
Well, go on.
I had a weird conversation with Abigail and things aren't adding up. I wanted to see if I could do some research on these emerald coats.
Seems like that's all everybody cares about today. Is fucking emerald coats.
So what's up with you? I told you what's up with me.
I found a damn emerald coat, okay? Near
What?
my fucking home. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned.
Huh, you too, huh?
You as well?
Yeah. I don't think Abigail knows what we're getting into, and I don't trust it. Or maybe
I feel
she
like
knows-
Abigail's hiding something from us.
Thank you. I think
She
she
told
knows
me-
what she's laying on.
She told me about a man named Christopher. Didn't give me a last name. All she told me is that he's apparently the leader of the Emerald Coats. And from the impression I got from her, there's clearly some bad blood, but I don't know anything else. She got pretty pissed off when I told her I don't feel safe.
Well, that's not a very good reaction to hearing that somebody doesn't feel safe.
Not at all.
So,
I don't care about feeling safe during the missions. I get it. It's a job. People die. But I don't feel safe there anymore. Not after my encounter.
that's fair. We don't know anything.
All I'm seeing is that there's a... The only thing I can piece together about these two organizations is that they exist in a weird ebb and flow symbiotic relationship. One cannot exist without the other. But they're sworn enemies. It's like the snake and the frog. Both of them have adapted to each other over time to better combat the other. But if you kill snakes, frogs will die. If you kill frogs, snakes will die. They exist only to fight. And I don't want any part of that.
Borman
I-
raises his hand.
I'm no...
Can I have my opinion on this?
I'd
Yeah.
love to hear your opinion on it.
To me, it sounds like they used to be part of the same group.
What makes you think that, Borman?
Hmm. From what? I'm pretty sure Alex told him everything.
I left out a little bit of information, but the information that I left out, I cannot physically tell you.
Yeah, John, everything that you've heard Matthew say in the session is what he's told you. He's told me things outside. That's what you don't know.
Okay.
So do not
Well,
worry.
Alex
So
told-
yeah.
And this because it reminds me of how I heard about one mercenary group that didn't get along after one point and just split off after a battle. That's what it sort of reminds me of. But I could be
can
wrong.
see it. I can see it.
You might be onto something, Borman.
I didn't think to roll insight on Abigail. Nose starts bleeding, eyes go black.
There's something else Abigail mentioned to me, though, and it's not adding up, and it's actually really bothering me. She told me that the neutralizers and the emerald coats have probably been around for only a few decades. But y'all heard those logs from Otto. They've been around a lot longer than that, haven't they?
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, that was a 5 centuries old city. And somebody in Emerald appeared and gave them an artifact to
And
progress
that
their
caused
technology.
their downfall.
And then it eventually exploded on them. Sounds to me like the Emerald Coats are a little older than Abigail's letting on that she knows of. I think the neutralizers may just be a few decades old, but definitely not the Emerald Cloaks. Hell, we're just calling them the Emerald Cloaks. I don't even think we know their real name. We're just calling them the Emerald Cloaks based off of the guy wearing an emerald cloak. And unless that was this Christopher guy, we have no idea who we're looking out for. All she told me about Christopher is that I can't trust him. I
Can
don't
we
know
trust
what he looks
Abigail?
like. Fuck no. Not anymore.
Hmm.
I hardly feel safe anymore. But we've got a mission. Let's not dilly-dally any
We're
longer.
burning daylight. Let's go.
Alright. So the group, you left at midday from the NHQ when the sun was highest in the sky. But as you start to look at your surroundings and step onto the cool grassy floor, you immediately notice that the trees have grown so much here that the sun is completely blotted out. So much here that darkness like this would be a hindrance to many, but the forest is dotted with bioluminescent mushrooms of all colors. Blue, pink, orange, red, yellow. The mushrooms don't have a definite size either. Some are small and can fit into your hand, and others are tall, towering as though they were trees.
I'm gonna, for the sake of it, I'm going to grab one of the smaller. You said what colors do they come in? All
There's,
colors, pretty much.
Blue, pink, orange, red, and yellow.
I'm gonna grab one of the orange bioluminescent mushrooms.
Yes.
And I'm gonna kind of try and squeeze that bioluminescent juice into a rag, and I'm gonna use that rag to coat my power pole
That's
to
really
make like
cool.
a giant glow stick.
Yeah. Matthew's
That's
ready
awesome.
Matthew's ready for a rave. With his giant
Matthew's
glow
ready
stick.
to look like a a wizard cowboy Jedi.
But so I would like people to roll me a perception check.
I'm gonna say power pole extend to have the power pole grow to the full 15 feet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pass it up to Borman because he's taller than all of us, and I'm gonna tell him, I need you to hold this straight up.
It's a beacon.
I don't care if you fashion it to your backpack in a way. I can help you tie it off with some rope, but that stays its size and it stays lit.
Jazz, is that your perception check?
Yeah.
Holy shit. You and John
Okay, roll
both got this, but Up ahead a little
I
ways.
still. I'm sorry.
It's fine, Matthew. Your other two parties sees it, but up ahead a little ways, you all see it.
Okay.
There is a sign at the beginning of a path.
Okay. What's it say?
Many travelers come across this path on their quest, where decisions may not make logical sense, where left is right and right is left, and every third is at your behest. Like a river staring at your visage, when it's your dominant, it's submissive.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to write that down.
I will write it. I will put it in the chat for you. Let me load up my notes. Because, yes, it is a very... I made this one, and I'm so proud of it.
He tested it on Chris, and Chris got it immediately. So I'm gonna feel stupid if I don't get it.
Chris was the only one to get it immediately.
Okay.
I don't...
Are you serious?
Yes. And I tested it on 4 different people. Let me, I have to... I loaded it up and I'm scrolling to get the... Alrighty. Copy.
Copies all the notes and sends them.
There we are. That'd be hilarious.
Many travelers come across this path on their quest, where decisions may not make logical sense. Where left is right and right is left, and every third is at your behest. Like a river staring at your visage, when it's your dominant, it's submissive. The every third part at your behest is what's caught my attention. And if I'm going by every third line in the thing, where left is right and right is left, when it's your dominant, it's submissive. It basically, all I'm getting from this is that I have to do everything backwards.
So,
Hmm.
this is the start of a path. Like a trail.
Hey, Scruff. I want you to go look ahead for me. And I'm gonna place a hand on Borman's shoulder, and I'm gonna look through Scruff, and I'm gonna send Scruff ahead.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna have him walk straight and narrow on the path as far as he can.
He goes for a while
Mm-hmm.
and reaches a fork in the road.
Where left is right, and right is left, and every third is at your behest.
Every third is at your command.
Oh God, he's rolling dice against us.
No, none of that will, well, it might, but none of that will, make sense to you.
Video game logic tells me go left. Scruff, go left.
Okay. Scruff goes left. And... Okay, Matthew, what is
Mhm.
Alexander's dominant hand?
Alexander's dominant hand is his left hand.
Okay. Scruff goes left and hits a dead end. At the dead end. I meant to do /GM roll, not regular roll. Oh Jesus. So Scruff starts to see movement of humanoid creatures at the dead end.
Okay. Are there any bioluminescence around Scruff?
Oh, there are some, and he starts to see myconids coming forward at him through the forest.
Myconids? What are myconids?
Mushroom people.
Scruff is going to sit and put his two paws up, like he's going to be resting on his butt and his two hind legs. He's got his two front paws up, and he's just got like a goofy smile and his tongue hanging out to the side.
The myconids walk closer, and you watch, and they don't seem friendly. And
Scruff does a little backflip.
It stops them for a second because they're not sure how to react to that.
And then he rolls over onto his back. And then he plays dead.
The myconids get closer and closer and closer until eventually one of them attacks.
When I'm still seeing through Scruff's eyes, when one of them is like standing right over them, as their fist is coming down, I'm gonna bamf him out of there and bring him back to me.
Okay. You do such.
Okay, so there's mushroom people, and they're probably not going to be very happy about this. And I kind of shake the power pole.
I'm sorry, there's what?
There's mushroom people. If we go ahead on the path and make a left, we're gonna run into mushroom people. So I'm thinking we go ahead, get to the fork, and then I'll have Scruff go off to the right to scout ahead again.
Okay.
So you go down the path.
Yep. And we get to the fork, and I'm going to send Scruff off to the right this time.
And yeah, you send Scruff to the right, and Scruff gets to another fork in the road eventually.
Right is left.
So with
Left is right.
with the way you guys, I want on this page, I want you guys to be standing in whatever order that you are going to be walking down the path as each time. So it is wide enough for all three of you to be walking side by side.
Alexander is positioning Borman in front of him, and he's holding onto Borman's right shoulder with Alexander's left hand.
All right. Jazz, are you going to be standing next to either of the two of them?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand behind them.
You stand behind them. Okay.
Alex, at this moment, is blind and deaf.
Yes, I know.
He can only see and hear through Scruff.
I'm just saying, as you're going through the pit. Okay, so you're going through the path in like. I'm gonna push you up a little bit because I can't really see through the invisible people. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys. This is your order on how you go down the path. Jazz.
Okay.
That's on invisible. It's fine. Yes. So Scruff gets to another fork in the road.
Okay. Scruff is gonna go right again.
Scruff goes to the right again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This time, it gets to another fork in the road.
And then he's gonna make a left.
And he gets to another fork in the road.
How far away is Scruff from Alex? I have to know for the spell.
How far away can he go?
He can go. I have to find it. I think it's 100 feet.
Oh, 100 feet. At the third fork, when you or at the basically at the third fork when you go take a left,
Yeah, he has to be within 100 feet of you, and it must use its reaction to deliver the spell when you cast it.
Okay, so when it gets to the third fork and he starts to go left, I will say, he halts right before he continues forward. He's too far away.
All right, let's move up along the right.
Along the right, you say?
Yeah, we're moving up to where Scruff is, basically.
Matthew.
I'm telling the group to catch up to Scruff.
Matthew.
Mhm.
You appear at the fork of the road alone. Where where Mint and Borman end up at a dead end.
You know what, guys? I have to help bring in groceries real quick. if you
It's
don't mind.
fine. You bring at a
Okay.
dead end. But, Jazz, can you stay for 1 second? Oh. I guess not.
Probably not.
Well.
So, at
What?
this point, Alexander has naked and afraid vibes.
Naked and afraid. Naked and afraid.
Naked and afraid.
But I'm going to wait for her to come back because I'm going to end it at this point. Because
you're ending the session at this point?
Yes.
Really? Only an hour and a half in? Okay.
Well, we've been doing like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, so... But I feel like for, like, the narrative flow, at this point, it makes sense.
Okay.
Because you guys did a lot of, like, narratively awesome stuff.
We did a lot of roleplay.
And then this is, like, the first real hint into how to figure out this puzzle.
Is everybody here willing to do a double today?
We'll see when Jazz comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then I gotta eat my sandwiches.
Yeah. John, how are you feeling?
What was Alex's dominant hand, did you say?
He said left hand.
Alex's is left hand.
Oh. Oh no.
Is Borman's right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's...
Yeah. Borman and Mint are probably right-handed, so
Yep.
Alexander is alone. Dominant is submissive. That's interesting. I think I figured it out, Jacob.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
But it's based on a person-to-person level. Because like you were just like, oh well, when you go left, you come to another fork, and I was just like, okay, so every third I'm good to go in the direction of my hand. But for everybody else, it's a you have to continue on the path of your least dominant hand for 2, and then on the third you go on your dominant, and then you repeat that cycle over and over again.
There's other things to it as well, but nobody has seen it yet. It hasn't really been noticed yet.
Yeah,
Back
the
when...
So, Jazz, you and Mint and Borman end up at a dead end, and Matthew ends at the next fork by himself.
Oh.
And with
Scruff
this,
is there with me, but I'm alone.
And with this is where I'm going to end the session, as you are figuring out this mysterious pathway across the Illuminated Forest.
Now, I was going to ask immediately after that,